Hello everyone, so today I have for you an in-depth video of how I got my hair back. So you guys have been requesting this for a long time, so let's get to it. I'm gonna be doing my makeup while I chat with you guys. And if you're wondering about this, is a chemical burn that I got. That's the only area that I'm not gonna be putting makeup on, so I'm gonna be skipping concealer this time. Losing my hair was one of the most intense things that I've gone through. And honestly, one of the things that helped me the most mentally was knowing that I wasn't alone. Some of my other girlfriends sharing with me like they were also going through hair loss. So if you're watching this video, just know that you're not alone, and there's so many of us that either are going through it or have gone through it. So the reason behind my hair loss was stress, but obviously my doctor tested me for everything just to make sure it was just stress. And on top of it, she took advantage of the opportunity basically to also test me for the alopecia gene, because she knows that my dad lost his hair when he was around 4 years old. So that usually means that you probably carry the gene as well. And this alopecia gene is the one that as you get older, you start losing hair, and that's basically it. So besides testing me, again, to make sure that it was like the reason why I was losing my hair was just stress related, she also tested me for the alopecia gene, and I also turned out to be positive for the alopecia gene, so I also carry that. So the treatment that I've been on has been basically a mix of getting my hair back because of the stress and also tackling the gene. That way, eventually, as I get older, I actually don't lose my hair at all like my dad did. So if you're young and one of your parents lost their hair as they got older, this is a great opportunity for you to ask, obviously, your dermatologist to test you for the alopecia gene. That way you don't have to suffer through it and you can prevent the hair loss. So just a disclaimer, obviously I'm not the professional here, so I'm just sharing what my dermatologist told me and the treatments and products that I did to get my hair back. So obviously consult with your dermatologist. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about things to stop doing, things to start doing, treatments, and products I used. All right, one of the things you need to stop doing, or doing at least less of, is tight ponytails. Tight ponytails, if you don't know, they cause traction alopecia, so they're just gonna make your hair loss a lot worse if you continue to do that. This also includes the heatless curls that you do at night, because sometimes you might be doing, if you do them like tight, obviously they're also going to cause traction alopecia. So just keep that in mind. Obviously every now and then it's totally fine, but basically these are things that you need to do less of or try not to do. Another thing you should stop doing is coloring your hair. Thankfully I've never colored my hair, so I don't need to like mourn that loss, but coloring your hair damages your hair. I think everybody knows that, so that's one thing that I highly recommend. Well, my dermatologist highly recommends that you shouldn't do. The other thing is keratin treatments. I don't know if that's how you call them in English, but basically those treatments that make your hair pin straight if you have wavy or curly hair. Those treatments are really intense in the hair, and again, they can cause your hair loss to be even worse. So that's another thing you should definitely stop doing. The other thing is hair extensions. I know if you're feeling that your hair is already like really thin that you want extensions, but unfortunately, again, extensions are another thing that's gonna be pulling down your hair, and that's gonna make your hair loss even worse, unfortunately. And the last thing you want to maybe not stop, but just like avoid as much as you can is heat, because also again, heat is damaging to the hair and can make your hair loss worse. So if you have curly or wavy hair, then this might be the perfect time for you, like start doing a routine so you can avoid heat as much as you can. Now we're moving on to things to start doing if you're not doing them already. Keeping a clean scalp and washing your hair often is super important for hair growth. In my case, my dermatologist recommended to wash my hair every single day, and that's what I've been doing, and obviously I got my hair back. Take vitamin C every single day is another important thing. Vitamin C is super important for hair growth. And then the other vitamin that is super important for hair growth is vitamin D. So make sure you go outside, you get your vitamin D. If you're unsure, it's also a really good thing to do to ask your doctor to test you for vitamin D deficiency, just to make sure your levels are fine, because that's another big important thing about getting your hair back, is that your vitamin D levels are good. Then the other thing that you need to do is work out. Working out is super important. You know, our whole body is connected, so you cannot have one thing without the other one. So make sure you get that body moving. And last but not least, make sure you are also eating enough food and eating a healthy diet. Again, our whole body is connected, so your body and your hair needs nutrients to be able to grow back. Now let's get into treatments. So one of the treatments that I did was PRP. So they take out blood, they take out the plasma from it, and then they inject it into your scalp, and that helps with hair growth. Here in the US, it's really costly. So I've done it in El Salvador, and it has cost me about $300. It's something that is recommended to be done several times a year, but honestly, I've only done it once a year, and I still got results. So maybe you can try that if you cannot afford to do it that many times a year. Now let's get into products. So disclaimer, I also want to emphasize that my doctor is in El Salvador, the one that I saw. So some of these products might not be available in the US. I think they're available in many Europe countries and in Latin America, but I don't think they're all available in the US, but you can check it out, maybe they are. Products that are definitely available in the US has been Rogaine, and I use the lotion 2%. I started with that only for a long time, and in the past maybe year or so is when my dermatologist introduced the foam 5%, and right now I'm alternating between the 2% and 5% like every single day. And the reason is just because she has noticed that some patients, sometimes they get the foam by mistake like on their face, and they grow unwanted facial hair. So just to prevent that, she has them alternating. So that's the only reason why. The other products that I've used that I'm not sure if they sell them here in the US, I'm gonna read it from my computer, is Dermacortine lotion, Pilopeptine spray, Dermacortine cream. Guys, like this whole process took a long time, took so much work, because there's products that were in the morning, products that were at night. Like for example, the Dermacortine cream, I literally had to put it like on my scalp at night, and then I had to cover it in a gauze and sleep like that. Like it had to be covered throughout the night. So I remember that portion of my life was a little complicated going at night. Now it's a lot easier. But again, I will highly recommend you consulting with a dermatologist. I'm just sharing it because so many of you have asked me like what products I've used. So I'm trying to share as much as I can. Also, so many of you have asked me if I've taken vitamins for hair, and yes, I have. I've taken vitamins and supplements from Pilopeptine. Then for shampoos, specifically for hair growth, my dermatologist recommended the Vichy Dercos Energizing Shampoo. And because I'm also prone to dandruff and I also like to try other shampoos, I alternate. But if you're specifically looking for hair growth shampoo, I could recommend that one. And the last thing to end this video is, am I still in treatment? And the answer is yes, because I said in the beginning, it started with stress hair loss, but because I tested positive for the alopecia gene, that means that I need to continue doing some of this stuff, I think, for the rest of my life. I'm not 100% sure, or maybe until I'm like older, a lot older. So that's where I'm at now, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you find it helpful, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Now I'm gonna go and finish doing my hair, but I'll talk to you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Also, I forgot to mention one thing to start doing is hair massages. They're so good for hair growth. Make sure you get one of those like silicone plastic hair massager things and massage your scalp.